We are continuing a continuing series with Layne Ragsdale. She's talking about financial independence and other things dealing with financial issues that you may be having. And today she's going to talk about Social Security.
Yes. That's becoming important to all of us at our ages.
Darn tootin'.
I know,
It is.
especially when you get to be my age and you go, is that going to be even worth my while?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think you're going to have a class or an event that you're going to allow people to come and talk,
We do.
ask questions.
Through the North Arkansas College on October the 11th in the evening. It's a Tuesday evening, 6:30 to 9:30 at the Durand Center. We're doing a class called Social Security, the 7 keys to your benefits. And we're going to address, one of the things we're actually going to address is it going to be here? Because we hear that a lot. You know,
I hear that.
At my age, are we going to have Social Security? And the answer to that is, I actually have the year. According to what the studies they've done, it's expected to be depleted in 2033 if no changes at all are made. Now, if we do the math, that's kind of bad for us. But even then, the incoming revenue would be expected to cover about 77%. And then you have to believe that sometime between now and 2033, they make some changes that continues that. So it's best, from my point of view, as a planner, as a certified financial planning professional, to say we've got a plan that our Social Security is in place, and that becomes a real key to the income that we have in our older ages.
Yeah.
So that's
Now,
good.
will there be somebody there to answer all of these questions?
Well,
or will you be the one?
It's me.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
You may get bombarded with
I may get
questions,
bombarded
but
with that. But the general things we're going to look at is the general aspects of Social Security, and we need to know really kind of how the system works, how long you have to be in the system before you qualify and stuff like that. We're going to talk kind of a cursory view of Medicaid, or Medicare, excuse me, because Medicare kicks in at 65 and is kind of a separate piece from that.
Yeah.
But when you're signing up, there's confusion around those two things. We're going to talk about the fact that it really is an income benefit, and what that means, because it isn't just retirement. Most of us think, oh, Social Security is for retirement, but there are survivor benefits. There is, for widows, there are people that have been divorced. There's a way they can attach back into the records from a divorced spouse. So there's quite a bit around that. And then the idea of what's the appropriate time to begin taking it in your individual case. Most of us can take it after 62 at any time. But there are some benefits to waiting, and there's some techniques that you can use to make sure that you're turning it on at the time that ends up hopefully maximizing what you're able to get out of the system.
And I think maybe one misconception is that's enough to live on. It probably is not.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
It was never meant, the things about Social Security that are kind of interesting, it was probably meant to be able to last a lot longer than it is now, because when it started, the lifespans for all of us were so much shorter.
Right.
So that's one reason you begin to see the Social Security full retirement age creep up.
Yeah.
And to those of us probably at 66 and a half or 67 even, or something from 65. And at the time, it probably did help, and we were more self-sufficient probably in those days, but today it'd be really tough to only live on Social Security. So that makes it very important to also be thinking about the fact that you're planning yourself for retirement, that you're taking advantage of your company's matches if you're in a 401k, all of those kind of things to help you to get through.
it takes a village.
It takes a village, and it takes a lot of thought about when you turn your Social Security on. Turn it on at 62, a lot of people do, and they may still be working. It cuts into your benefits at 8% a year forever then from the time that you turn it on, mostly forever.
Yeah.
There's some things you can do later to kind of turn it back. But for the most part, it's 8% a year that you gain if you wait on to turn your Social Security
If you wait
on.
till 65.
And then there's a maximum time that you're going to get your benefits.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So waiting
it
after that
continues to step
age is-
up till age 70.
Okay.
And another thing that becomes important, you mentioned our retirement age of something, and I said the term full retirement age, and that's different based on the years you were born. But why that's a key is after your full retirement year, you can continue to work, and it doesn't impact your Social Security benefits. But up until your full retirement age, if you turn your Social Security on and you're working at the same time, there's a haircut on that. They take away part of your Social Security money. And so you lose 8% a year by turning it on, plus you end up getting an amount of your benefits cut back until you quit working.
Yeah.
Wow.
So all of this will be revealed.
It will. It will.
And where and when again?
It is October the 11th, and it is at the Durand Center at 6:30 to 9:30.
6:30 p.m.
Do they
Okay.
need to reserve space?
Yes,
or-
they can call the college. This is done through the college.
Okay.
It's one of the North Ark College courses. And so 391 3100, I think, is, 391 3100 is the phone number, or they can go
Okay.
online and do that, or stop at the center campus also. And they can always call me also, and I can get the information to them
Okay.
as well.
All right. And what's up now? You got one more to do.
Got one more to do
And
on
what's that
October
on?
the 25th. It's one that we did last year and was so popular, we're doing it again.
Okay.
And it's the essentials of estate planning. And that was really
Mm-hmm.
fun because we did it in conjunction with Kelsey Bardwell and Kathy Golden with the law firm here in Harrison
Mm-hmm.
of Sprott, Golden, and Bardwell. And so that was, it has me as a financial planner talking about it at a very high level, but they were there to be able to answer some of the more general questions that people could ask and steer them in the right direction that was kind of over my head. So that was wonderful. And we had, like I said, such a good turnout and such a good response to that we're going to do that again. That's October the 25th, another Tuesday evening, and
Okay.
at 6:30 to 9:30 also.
Okay.
And they can sign up for the college again for that
Okay.
too.
So all these classes just need to call the college and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
for that.
Grateful for the college for allowing us to
You
do
bet.
this. Financial and independence, as you said, is very, very important.
Yeah.
And the more we know about it throughout the community, the better able we are to.
Well, to take full
Thrive.
advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It sounds like a lot of good questions will be asked that night. Again, that's going to be topic will be Social Security. If you want to know more about that, you can contact the college at 391-3100.
Continuing education.
And again, it's going to be October
The
11.
11th.
11th from 6:30 to
9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
6:30 to 9:30.
And there will be cookies. That's what we.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. One of the complaints I had last year, the first one is I didn't have good cookies, so I had to up my cookies, and that I had to buy them. I don't cook, but you know.
So you do it once and you have to do it every time.
Yeah, you
after.
know, kind of set a precedent.
you
Yeah.
go.
So, yeah,
Good thing you
that's
didn't
became
start
the
off
joke.
with a bunch of a whole
I know.
smorgasbord. full.
Exactly right. And
So-
people can always call me too at the
Okay.
Nest Financial.
Okay.
Yep.
And that you want to throw that number out?
870-741-6378.
Okay.
All right. Layne, thanks so much for being
Thank
here.
Thank
for
you
having
very
me.
much.
And we'll see you again in a couple weeks. We're going to do that last interview concerning financial planning, and that'll be a good one. And we'll see you then.
All right. Thank you
you.
so much. I appreciate y'all.
Up next, we're going to talk with Chrissy McCready, and she's the director of Classical Conversation, Conversation Homeschooling Community. We'll find out all about that in just a couple minutes. Stay with us. You are watching 726.